Oh, here we go. Let's just
Where
hit
are we
it.
going? Woo, woo, woo. Oh yeah.
Brenda, I'm so jealous. You look so
I
young.
know.
Gorgeous weather out here.
Make sure you share it. Then you go on there.
I can't figure it out. Something
This
about her.
Song.
Got a woman
I love this song. This song is like dope.
I know.
can't figure it out.
Oh man.
Something about her. 'Cause she
She
walk
walks
like
out the cross.
like a boss.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Oh, here we go. Let's just hit it. Okay, sorry about that. Good
No,
morning,
all right.
everybody. How are you?
Good. How are you guys?
Dun, 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 dun.
We are here live.
I know. We are live now. Good morning, and let's see here. Good morning, Josie. Good morning.
Morning, Josie.
How's everybody today?
Good.
Good. Really good.
We are very envious right now of Brenda as she sits
Yes.
from her balcony from her hotel room.
Yes.
I am. I would point you guys towards the pool direction, but I get a glare, so I won't do that. But yeah, I'm sitting.
Oh no, you gotta see the pool. That's like the main.
I'll show you. Look.
Oh yeah.
Oh, very
Yeah.
nice.
So once I'm done, I will be going over there with my little Mai Tai and hanging
Oh
out.
yeah.
Seriously. Just make us more jealous.
I know. That's cool though. It's
Both
cool.
of you guys will like sip on it.
Yeah, right now it's I think everybody needs a little bit of vacation in their life, right?
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah.
Away from the house.
Yeah. And you know what? I mean, we've been out here for 5 days, and I think the most people we came across was yesterday at the Narrows, and we had our masks on. So I told the kids, as soon as you come across somebody, put your mask on. But it's so open that, people go one direction and another.
Right,
Only when you're crossing each other is when, you put your mask on. But yeah, we didn't. And then towards the end, we didn't really see anybody because they didn't go really deep, and we kept going and going and going. So by the time we came back, there was nobody in the Narrows, which was good. So, yeah.
Awesome.
How fun. That sounds like fun. Never been there, but would love to. Definitely. You've
It's
inspired
really,
me to
really
want to
pretty.
go take a look at it. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It looks like a lot of fun. And like you said, it's outdoors. So
And everything here is outdoors. I mean, we went ATV and UTV
I saw.
driving, and then we did kayaking and paddleboarding, and the
That
same.
was fun.
We were out in the side of the lake by ourselves. Nobody was there. It was total isolation, which was great because you could sit there, hang out, tan, lay on your paddleboard or go kayak, and nobody was around us. Literally nobody.
very nice.
It was a great feeling not to worry about wearing our mask. So, yeah.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah.
For sure.
So
Cool.
So yeah.
Well, that's awesome. So another week has passed us by in, semi-quarantine, I guess you could say. This is the new reality of our lives. But real estate still moves forward, right, girls?
Right.
Absolutely.
Real estate is still definitely
Still chugging along.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people are surprised. I've had a couple conversations with different people who are just very, very surprised that what's going on right now with the whole, multiple offer situation, buyers
Crazy.
get into a home and stuff like that. So we're going to share with you some more market updates.
Yes, ma'am. As soon as I get this up.
I know.
I swear, technical difficulties are the worst.
That's part of it. That's part of life.
It happens.
Yeah, it happens. But yeah, we have a lot of different people. I actually got a call this morning from a buyer who it's funny because they find you online and they have questions and they're not sure, how can I, what do we do? And I think a lot of times we tend to take it, or we believe that everybody knows what they need to do, but not everybody does. So it's important that we continue to educate everybody, because it's everybody's different and everybody doesn't know, or maybe they're listening to the wrong people.
Mm-hmm.
So just wanted to share with you guys today. So let's see what does it look like in Chino, Jessica. So
Yeah.
this is actually 7 days. I did 7 days this time just because I wanted to see just the the difference
Yeah.
of what's going on. So let me take this off here. What it looks like right now in the last 7 days, there's been 8 active listings put on the market, which is nothing. We need more.
No, we need more. Absolutely.
We need more. 26 under contract, which is great, and 6 have closed in the last week, so that's good. Average listing price 598, which has increased, and average sales price 559. So 19 days on the market, which again, I think it's a little bit less than that, but we already discussed that the numbers, reflect the agent when they input stuff, so it could be off a little bit, but we're seeing it move. But I will be honest with you, and I want to say this last week, I have noticed that it is not that there's not multiple offers, there is, but they're not as fast as they were. So now agents, what I'm seeing them do is wait, a lot longer to respond to your offer. I'm seeing that they're holding to it for 4, 5, 6 days because they're like, they told their sellers, hey, we're going to get multiple offers, and they're not seeing what they thought they were going to see so quickly.
Right.
But I also think that when they're overpricing it to begin with, you can't create a multiple offer situation like that or above asking price. So again, you got to be knowledgeable and make sure you're doing your research and you're educating your sellers so that way nobody is disappointed. We had a guy walk in yesterday who has his home listed for 90 days. And he's very upset with his agent. Again, it's not a Remax agent. Thank you. But he was really upset because he said he's had one showing in 90 days. And he asked me if that was normal. And no, absolutely not normal. So, again, it just shows that not every agent is going to put forth the effort to even in this market, people think, oh, I'm just going to put the sign out or not even put a sign out and it's going to sell. There's still work involved to get it actually closed. So, but anyhow, so just to kind of give you that information. So what else do we have, Jessica?
We have Eastvale.
So in Eastvale, in the last 7 days, again, 16 active listings on the market, 11 went under contract, 17 have closed, and it shows you average list price to average sales price. There's a little bit of a difference there, and then the average days on the market is 23. So again, the market's moving there as well. A lot of new builds in Eastvale as well, a lot of new homes.
Yep. And then we also have Jurupa Valley.
So in Jurupa Valley, we have 4 active listings in the last 7 days, which, like I said, that's nothing. We need more, more. 11 under contract, 12 closed, average list price 473 and sales price 448, 32 days on the market. So yeah, everything it should be under 30 at least, I think, from the way I see things.
Then we have North San Bernardino. This one is Catherine's.
North San Bernardino.
Yeah.
You've been nominated.
Oh, I've been nominated. All right. I'm cool with that. Okay, so anyways, this is North San Bernardino. We have 13 active listings on the market currently. And actually, I have a few buyers looking out in that area. So we definitely need more inventory out there because things are going quick. Look, there's 12 under contract.
Remember, you're going to get a listing in August there. Remember that.
Oh, you are?
No, you are. You are.
Oh, that's right.
Oh,
I forgot about that one. Yes. Sorry.
Catherine.
Right, this is live, yo. This is real life. This is how I...
What's that called? Squirrel? Where?
Yes, you're right. Absolutely. Which, yeah, actually in August I will. Okay, so anyways, and then 16 have closed. The average list price is $382 and the average sale price is $381. So they're definitely getting what they're listing at or above, and most likely more above. What I've seen, everyone's list, all the buyers agents are going above the listing price and offering more. So you're definitely going to get more for your money as a seller. And the average days on the market in North San Bernardino is 15 days. And I think also what has a lot to do with that, I mean, 15 days is quick. So they're moving quick. And so what's going on is in that price range, there's a lot of buyers in that price range looking right now. And because of the lack of inventory, they're forced to go to the North San Bernardino area, which is still nice. There are some really good pockets in North San Bernardino that are actually really decent, but they're going so quick, it's just like boom. So yeah, we definitely need more listings. If you're in the North San Bernardino area and you're listening, we need your listing on the market. Look at how fast they're going. It's quick. So yes. So, and that is North San Bernardino, my friends.
All right. You are also nominated for Beaumont.
Oh, yeah, I love this. I love it. You know, it's funny because I'm gonna have a listing in Beaumont too.
See?
Perfect.
Perfect.
This is perfect.
In the universe.
I'm telling you, it's aligning with. Yeah, it's aligning with me. Okay, so 16 active listings are on the market. 26 are pending under contract. 16 is not a lot, guys. It really is. It's not. Especially, I mean, Beaumont is actually not too small of an area, so that we need more. And so there's 26 pending under contract. 13 have closed. The average sale price is $397, and the average sale price is $384. So again, it's like really close in price point, and you're getting what as a seller you're going to get multiple offers on your property, and it's going to go very quick. It's 27 days on the market. And also, again, a thing to look at in Beaumont is the price points are definitely cheaper than, other areas, Redlands, Yucaipa, that kind of thing, because it is a little further out. But also what you're dealing with over there is the Melrose. So you might have some Melrose out in that area, depending on which area you're at. But so don't look at just the price point as like, oh, it's cheap out there. I can live out there. I can afford this. Well, we got to make sure that there's no Melrose with that property as well. So anyways, if you are, my little plug for any Beaumont people listening, we need your listing out there as well. So yes, and it will go quick. Trust me, everything's going quick over there as well. Very quick. So there you go.
All right. We have Highland next.
I was going to say, I know mine's not Highland.
Yes, I was going to say.
No, Highland
This one is Brenda's.
This is mine, yeah. I chose, I do zip code 92346, and I chose to do the last 7 days as well. So this stats are for 7 days. So we have 13 active listings, 10 pending, 4 closed. Average list price $385, average sale price $374, and then average days on the market 17 days. So inventory is going quick in that area, and I'm actually really happy to see that there's more listings there, because I know that for the last couple of weeks the numbers have been a little bit lower on active listings. So that means there's more listings hitting the market. So got to get out there.
Right.
Yes, ma'am. Next we have Rialto.
And then Rialto, I didn't do a specific zip code. I just did Rialto. Rialto, we have 5 active listings, which is very little for the last 7 days. I mean, it's not too bad, but it's still a small number. It's 8.
Is that your kid, Brenda?
I haven't been sure, but no, that is not my kid. They're jumping in the water. 8 pending and under contract. 7 closed. Average sale price is $412. I'm sorry, average list price, and average sale price is $392. Days on the market, it's crazy. 9 days. 9 days on the market.
Wow.
Which is what we're seeing, or at least what I'm seeing on the areas that I typically have buyers in, which is like Fontana, Rialto, Highland, North San Bernardino. 9 days sounds about right. So
yeah,
this is very true numbers here. So
All right. And then we have Fontana.
And then Fontana, I also did all of Fontana, not just any zip code. And this is for the last 7 days. So we have 22 active listings, 35 went pending, 26 were closed. Average list price $464, and average sale price $458. So again, we do see that the houses are being priced at a certain number. Sonia, why are you laughing?
What's going on over there, Sonia?
Like, do I have something?
No.
Average list price is 464, and average sale price is 458. And then the average days on the market is 20 days. Now, what I've been seeing in Fontana, and kind of in a few different places, but I have buyers in Fontana right now, so I can relate to it, is that the agents will list it, but they'll take an offer that's a lot higher than what the price of the home is worth, even comparing it to the comps in the area. And those buyers may not even want to buy at that price point, or, or feel comfortable with it. But as agents, we should be educating our clients that, hey, this is the supporting comps. If you don't have the difference to pay for it, you're going to find yourself in a bind. So I think that the 464 list price and then the actual average sale price is 458 is because of the appraisals trying to keep us, check with the market. So yeah.
Yeah, I agree. We're seeing that a lot. A lot of agents, are overinflating our prices, and they're not realizing, the effect that it's going to have, within the industry. So just be mindful of that, and, stick to being a professional, not overpromising, and, let's keep the market moving like it's moving great. And, there's thankfully, a lot of buyers are still wanting to buy. A lot of buyers can afford to buy. But, if we keep, overinflating prices 30, 40,000, each time we sell, it's crazy. It's just going to create where people aren't going to be able to afford it anymore. So we have to be mindful of that. And like you're saying, thankfully the appraisers are being mindful of that, and are making sure that, the values are in fact there, and kind of keeping us in line with that. So, and I don't think a lot of people really want to pay above. I just don't think that there's a need for that. I understand there's multiple offers, but for you to feel the sense that you are obligated to pay more than what it's worth, I just don't think that that's a good tactic. And eventually you regret it. You have remorse, especially once you're in escrow and you do an inspection and you realize it needs work, and now they don't want to do nothing, and now you're paying overpriced. Plus the house still needs work. You got to be smart about it. You definitely got to be smart about it. Overbidding is not the only way to get into a home today.
You know what? I work mainly with buyers for the most part. I mean, I do sales as well, listings as well, but I do try to educate my buyers on that perspective. But I do have conversations with listing agents where I tell them, like, look, it's not necessarily the offered price. So I can make my clients go higher, but what benefit am I doing to them by doing that? You know what I mean? Like, I'm doing a service to my client for doing that, because at the end of the day, this can all fall apart because of being greedy, So I don't agree with it. I don't do it to my clients, and I tell my clients straight up, like, I'm not going to make you overbid on a property that I don't feel you're going to have the means to do so, and you're going to find yourself in a bind, and we're going to start to square one 30 days in, and you've already made yourself, a vision board of living there. It's not feasible, and then they get discouraged. So that's how you lose buyers as well. So I just think that it's a whole domino effect. But I think that we need to keep our market in check, and it's not always the price on your offer. I think that you have to have a strong buyer on the listing side. I've had offers on my listings where they were a lot higher, like 30,000 over the list price, but their client wasn't as strong as my ones that were a lot lower. I know a lot of people from FHA buyers, but I work with mainly FHA buyers, and when I get FHA buyers, I know they're good. So to me, I don't see that as a flaw. On the contrary, if you're a conventional buyer and you have the additional funds, I think that sometimes agents push that, like, oh, don't worry about it, we'll just use more of your money and less down. How is that doing a benefit to your buyer? Like, some buyers don't know better, they don't even understand it, and then they get their first mortgage statement and they say, why is my balance this high, on my principal, and they don't realize till after they're closed. So I mean, we hear people's stories day in and day out, so just be mindful to your client.
We should do a story segment because I swear the stories you guys have sometimes are insane. Like they're so entertaining and they're so like I don't know, it's just crazy the things that people do out there and like I think people could really benefit from all that sometimes because it's crazy. The trust that you put in people sometimes that you shouldn't, it's insane.
Yeah, it really, really is, you know. You a lot of times, you know, people sell store, like you said, they sell the story, but they don't actually have any plan to back up whatever they plan to do. So they leave the you know, the consumer, you know, like, hey, what happened? You said this and now this is happening. So I think it's important to definitely make sure that you work with the professional. We can't stress it enough. You know, it's just like anything, you know, before you go anywhere, research and just make sure that, you know, you even interview multiple people, you can tell right away the difference in some people, you know, so you're going to see the difference in the quality of, you know, service you're going to receive. You know? So, but yeah, like I said, with us, we have like multiple people. We've been pretty fortunate, I think, with our buyers, not too bad, you know, as far as the time frame and getting into properties. I did actually get another buyer from Instagram over the weekend who was working with a different agent as well, and kind of the same thing. You know, they really haven't seen much properties, and they just, you know, they just there's no lack of communication, and they feel like they're losing big time because 2 months have passed. I think 2 or 3 months. I don't remember exactly, but you know, that's a long time if you're not active. And that's the thing. You have to be active in the market. You have to be in it all day. You just do, you know, in order to be able to get into a home today. You just have to be in it all day long. And I mean, we're working all day, you know, looking and not only just waiting for something to pop up on the MLS, you know, we're trying to be proactive as well and look for the, you know, other consumers who might be, you know, interested in selling. And it's definitely happening, you know, it's definitely happening. Like I said, we have people walking in here, you know, just are calling, asking about questions. Why isn't my home selling? Why is this happening when, you know, when I see everyone else is home selling? So, so you'd be
And I think you made a comment the other day too. You said if this thing has been in the market for 3 months in the market that we're in right now, there's definitely a problem because homes are going so fast that it's like, why is your home sitting? Like there's obviously a different kind of issue. Like the market is moving so quickly that there's no way that they're staying there for 30 days, like you said.
Right. There could be.
But you know what? Your listing agent has 99% of that control. So to me, I feel like if you're a listing agent, you're a buyer's agent. Like what comes out of your listing, you know what I mean, and out of your work, it speaks for you. So if you're a listing agent and you have a property, I mean, I have a property that I've had for almost a year in Running Springs, and that, I mean, it's been shown over 100 times, but the driveway is the deal breaker every time. So I'm like, this is the one property that I can't sell, but every other one is fine, you know. But you can't use that as a reflection of everything else. But if that's happening on all your listings, or your listings are just on sale, you know, there's something that maybe needs to be reevaluated.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, whether it be price or marketing or who knows, right? But yeah, definitely there is something wrong there. But so anyways, today we have a very special guest today. We want to give her some time because you know, she has some valuable information to share with us. Jessica, if you want to welcome her, please.
Yes, ma'am. I don't think she's there yet.
Okay, let's see.
Can you guys hear the kids splashing in the pool?
No.
Hey everybody. Hey ladies.
Hi, Adriana.
Adriana, welcome.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Man, I just want to give it back to you ladies because I learned so much right now. And how it is literally, you know, houses are flying off the shelves. And the biggest thing is the market is moving so quickly that we want to make sure all our ducks in order, right? and one of those might be like your credit. And so, yes, Adrian and Nielsen, I'm located here in Modesto, California in the Central Valley. And I'm just want to thank you guys for having me on and just sharing some information that can help a lot of individuals that are looking to take advantage of this market right now, being able to, lock in their homes, and if maybe credit is just a little bit off that they're trying to get back on. Yes, most definitely being able to help. So yeah, what I hope to do is just get individuals and families their credit and buying power back, their finances on track, so then they can go ahead and achieve their big financial moves they want to attain.
Yeah, definitely.
What are you finding, Adrian, is the most common, like, when people call you, what's the most common that they tell you?
Yeah.
Being able to purchase their home, but they weren't able to qualify.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Well, one of the biggest things, maybe having like those late payments that are dinging their credit report, or collections items that they might not even know they had, maybe because they didn't know how long they actually last on their credit report. So I think that's the biggest thing of not knowing where their credit was standing, and that collections do have a big impact, especially when you're going to apply. You want to look like you want to be a responsible buyer. So when the lender is looking at your credit report, then that's a big, red flag that might be going off for them.
Okay.
And so, yeah. And so, but I just wanted to share, they say the single biggest difference between financial success and financial failure is how well you manage your money. They say it's simple to manage your money, you must know how to manage it. I'm going to be honest, if we don't tell our money where to go, it's going to find a place. We walk into Costco, Target, Amazon Prime. Before we know it, we walked out with more than we just milking it, right?
Yep.
And so it's just being able to have a budget, being able to manage it, and tell us where it's going to go, because we have thousands of dollars slip through the cracks, every year that can go towards a down payment of your home, being renovations of the home, or any upgrades you want to do, or just simply have that solid safety net on the side. So that's one of the biggest things that we can go ahead and share. And then going on, we have 5 shocking facts that you might have not known about your finances. And then for number 1, it's simply Americans are drowning a total of over $1 trillion in credit card debt as of March of 2019.
Wow.
But I'll go ahead and highlight, that was March of 2019. This has been over a year, and it didn't include the pandemic that just happened. So it certainly has skyrocketed. Then we have over to, number 2, which is 46% of baby boomers have less than $10,000 saved for retirement. This is huge, because we see our parents, our grandparents, that should be living their golden years and being able to retire comfortably. They're unable to do so because, they can't rely on Social Security anymore. They can't rely on the government. And so they're having to do this as a backup plan, going to getting that job, right? And so you see them working their golden years at the Golden Arches, at Save Mart, and at Costco, checking off your receipts and so on. So that's one of the biggest things. And then we go on to, the third one, which is 56% of people in the U.S. have no rainy day funds. I know a lot of individuals were taken by surprise during this time because they didn't have that safety net. They didn't have, might be living paycheck to paycheck. So being taken their job right from underneath them was a huge thing. So. And then the other one is just coming up on being able to have more than 43 million Americans have a credit score of 599 or less. As being in the real estate market, the higher credit score you have, the better interest rate, which means more money in your pocket. And so it's crucial to have. And then hopping on over, we just show that there's nothing to be ashamed of. I call it happens life to all of us. Bad credit happens to good people. And so sometimes it's just circumstances or things that happen that we are building up, and something happens, life, and then we get, started all over again. So that's one of the biggest things that you are able to be proactive about. You don't have to live with bad credit, which is one of my biggest missions, to help a lot of individuals know that they can regain their buying power back, have access to be able to become a homeowner, and, live that dream about. So then we hop on over to what we call a credit score. And I think it didn't all show up, but no worries. I think it's one. Okay. So basically these are the 5 factors that dictate your credit score. And so the biggest thing is what is this 3-digit number that is so important that is going to dictate how much money I'm going to be saving and how much money I'm going to be overspending. So 35% is your payment history. You don't want to be on late payments. You don't want to have it. It really counts your on-time payment history. So any late payments can really hurt you 50 to 100 points. Then we hop on over 30%, which is your credit utilization. You, as I know, when I got approved for my first credit card, let's say you got approved for $1,000 and you're like, oh my goodness, I'm so excited. I just got approved. I have $1,000 to spend. Well, a good rule of thumb is that you're not supposed to spend over 30% of that $1,000. So no more than 300. Because then once you hit that 301 threshold, it looks like you're living off your credit instead of leveraging it. And as well, when you go and apply for your loan, then you look like a risk factor, right? Because now you're using more and it looks like you're living off of it. Then 15%, that goes of how much credit history you built, that relationship. I hear it time and time again, I am so done with credit cards, I'm gonna pay them off and I'm gonna close them out. Well, go ahead and pay them off. That is great because you have utilization low, but do not close them down. Because let's say you've built that relationship of that credit history for 20 plus years and you go and close it, you literally went ahead and slashed your credit score in half because you took off 35% of your payment history, 30% of your utilization just went low. So it gives you, a smaller pool to work with. But that's one of the biggest things I like to share. Go ahead and pay them off, cut them up, but don't close them because that is so important to have. And then we go up to 10%, the new inquiries that you're acquiring. You don't want to be applying for a new credit multiple times at once because then it looks like you're desperate for credit, especially when you're going to be becoming a homeowner. That is very crucial. You don't want to be applying for all these I know you want to get new furniture for the home and then you go apply for all these places that have the furnitures to be able to buy it on payments. There's a credit ramp, right? You want to get that car, just that lifestyle, but certainly have everything proactive and really be reasonable where you're applying your credit to, because it is lifelines that are going out, right? You don't want to look like you're desperate. And then 10%, which is the last one, you want to have a good mix of credit, revolving loans, anything, your credit cards, and installment loans, anything like your mortgage, your car note, anything that's fixed. So that's one of the 5 factors that go ahead and play in making that 3-digit credit score number. Then we hop on over to what we just share. Bad credit can make you feel like you're just lost, right? You can feel like frustrated, depressed, anxious, and you're like, how can I get back to step one? How can I get my finances in order? Well, it's just being proactive, because I know one of the biggest things is everything you don't take action on stays the same. So if you're being proactive and just getting your credit back on track, that's going to open up an avenue of being able to open up all the opportunities and possibilities that you want to be able to achieve your home ownership, purchase that home, or just regain that confidence, right? Not that you have to cross your fingers applying and you're like, I hope I make it, right? I hope that they don't tell me that I'm denied. So that's one of the biggest things. And ultimately, a good credit score is going to open up the avenues to dictate what neighborhood you're going to be living in, the zip code you're going to be living in, how much you're going to be paying, or saving. And then it's going to make it easier to get that house, maybe better interest rates on overall, and just being able to have that secure finance, because it really is going to save you hundreds upon thousands of dollars. The higher credit score you have, the better it's going to be on the end for you. So that's that I would like to share, and just being able to bring that financial literacy awareness.
I have a question for you, Adriana. I wanted to know, because I know there's a lot of people, and I've dealt with people, especially buyers, when they're coming into, buying, they want to know, they think, oh, I have a really bad credit score and it's in the 600s, and they're thinking, well, I have to bring up my credit before I can buy. And, I have to educate them. But I wanted to find out from you for them, because they're like, well, what can I do? What's the first thing I can do to help my credit score? How can I boost it right away? What would be a tip that you would give to them?
So the things is seeing where you stand. If there's anything negative on your credit report, because I've had both, clients that are looking to get their homes, and so they might have negative items. So I say, go ahead and start with your credit restoration. Have those negative items removed so they no longer affect you. But if it's on the other side, and maybe they've been building, maybe starting to build, then open up, start making sure that all your payments are on time, making sure that utilization is low, so no more than 30% of what's available to them. And another part is, if they have, a spouse or a family member, and they have amazing credit, and they have, I would suggest them to be an authorized user onto that credit card, which adds lines of credit. They've been building for years, like, if they have a spouse and they've been building and they both want to go on get their home together, that's one thing that I would always recommend, just being an authorized user, because it adds a whole lifeline of credit that they get to benefit on. So it goes from two different ways. If they're just building, then they can use that avenue. Many of the clients as use secure credit cards just to be able to establish that credit history again and building. And then, just simply knowing where you stand on your credit. If you need those negative items removed, credit restoration.
Can I add? So, Catherine, what I normally do is I have my lender run the client's information. I tell them, meet with the lender, see where you are, even if they think they have bad credit or really good credit, whatever the case might be, or they want to pay off some stuff. They tell, like when clients tell me, oh, I got to pay off all my debt and then I'm going to buy a house. I'm like, don't do that. Like, let's get you with the lender, pay off the right stuff and the right amounts, because it's not always about having zero balances or you have to be at a certain number to make your credit score good. So what I normally do is I, try to get as much information from my client as far as their credit goes without getting too crazy into it. And I send them to my lender with a little brief, just, rundown on them. And I tell the lender, can you give them a game plan? And then the lender will tell me, hey, you know what? They need to work on this. I'm going to send you a summary. And then I give that summary. I've worked with credit repair people before on 3 of my clients, and it worked amazing. But you have to get a game plan of what they need to attack. Because Adriana, as a credit person, if you give her a client, she's going to be like, okay, what am I working on? Like everything, one thing, like what specifically do you need to fix to get into the home that you need, or what's the time frame, so I typically get a time frame, what they need done, and what they need to get down or get rid of, or or work on, and then I send them to the credit person. So if that helps a little bit.
Adriana, really quick, I know that there's been talk about the new FICO Index to help. I don't know if you've heard anything about that, to help expand the mortgage lending. They're trying to change the way that the FICO is being weighed right now because of the pandemic. Have you heard anything about that?
So I know the biggest factor is, that they're going to be, it's like a weighted GPA as they call it, right? And so I think it's going to be based on different lenders, how they're going to go ahead and grade it. Because I know during the criteria, a lot of things have elevated, so they're only qualifying certain individuals for, certain loans. But I think it's going to go as the market is shifting and progressing. Then I think banks are going to look at how it's shifting. So they're like, okay, we're going to do the weighted GPA scale. But the biggest thing is just making sure that you're you're knowing where you stand. So when you have to take those little actions, as Brenda had mentioned, you have that game plan of what do I have to work on just to be able to get it at that right number. I think that's the biggest thing, because I had it right. It's going to be more of a benefit of this new modeling. That's going to be because we have our typical, FICO score that ranges from 350 to 850, and so maxing it out. But it's just knowing in those things of how it's going to be weighted. I feel like it's like a weighted GPA scale, basically, of all the balances of going all around, and that's the biggest thing. So I think it's just taking huge advantage of what's going on right now, because it's phenomenal. They say it's like, it's a peak season, and once it goes, it might be some time before it comes back, but have everything aligned, having a game plan, and being ready for that.
Yeah, no, it's pretty interesting. Like I said, everybody's doing their part to help people. So again, it's important to stay on top of what is actually happening out there, so that way we can help our consumers. But I read that and I thought that was pretty interesting, especially for maybe buyers who thought they couldn't buy. So that's pretty interesting.
Right.
So tell us a little bit about your services, and if someone needed your services, how do they go about contacting you, and how is that, how is it charged or paid? Give us some of that information.
Yeah, so what our biggest thing is that we want to help not only our clients repair, restore, and rebuild their credit, but we offer 11 additional benefits that come included. So we want our clients never to go back to step one, learning where they stand, because if we repair their credit, but they don't know how to continue and manage it and know where they stand and what it entails, then they typically go to step one. So we want to make sure is provide financial literacy for them, giving them the resources like a monitoring app, right? Knowing where they stand as they go, having them tools in their client portal, as we say. And so we typically show our clients results as early as 45 to 90 days, but like everything, it's a process. And so it's about an average of 4 to 6 months just to get your credit back on track, having everything, because every credit report is different of what they have on there. And so we want to make sure that, if anything comes up, they know they can reach out to our client support system. We have amazing credit attorneys that make sure that we call them the legal eagles, as one of my business partners like to call them, because they have that bird's eye view, making sure that you're always in set. And so our services, we provide them. We offer been 16 years. We've already successfully, with our proven system, removed over 2.5 million negative items off our clients' credit reports. So, clients wouldn't be our first. And so they certainly helped me. I went through, life as they say it happened. And so going through a divorce just 2 years ago, it definitely impacted my credit report. And so building that from ground zero again, I mean, they've been able, I call them my flying eagles, because they were there for me and just making sure that they had those negative items. So now being able to, position myself in a better place for my daughter and myself, and having that, and Credit Power really gives you access to everything that you want to have. And so we offer this, usually just having, credit restoration by itself can cost you $1,500 and upwards. We want to make it affordable for everybody. We want to make sure that they have all the resources. So it's only getting started, $188, and then $89 a month, and then we work with them. And so we definitely can get me, I can put my information, and they can contact me via Facebook message, or as well text, direct phone call me.
Okay, awesome. Well, thank you. I mean, unless you guys have any other questions for her, I really appreciate that. I mean, like I said, I know,
that was
like you said, it's I set a lot of my payments on auto payment just because we're busy, and 30 days comes quick. It comes so super fast. So at least it's taking care of the minimum, but there has been times when, let's just say for whatever reason, I don't know how, I just don't remember, or I think I paid it completely off. Like I remember I had one card that I paid it off, but I didn't realize that they charged like this annual fee. So they charged me, and then I was late like for 2 months, and I didn't know. And then I get the bill and I finally open it, because again, I'm thinking it's paid, and it's showing now I owe like almost $100 because of late fees, and and now my credit's messed up, and I called them and they're like, sorry, like there's nothing we can do, and so like exactly. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Like I paid it off. They're like, yeah, you paid it off, but then we charge you this annual fee, and so yeah. But
I get it.
What happened there? So I heard closing cards is not good, or is that something? Because honestly, I haven't closed it. I'm still paying that dang fee, and I want to close it. So, what is your advice on that?
Yeah, so being able to get those late payments removed, because I know they're those annual fees, right? They have, sometimes it's anywhere from $49 to upwards. And so how long you've had that open for, go ahead and look at that. That's a main factor, right? If it's been open for maybe like a year, then you can see how it's going to affect you, and how long and how big of a balance that is too. Because let's say that's like you have $10,000 available on that card, and your revolving balance is 20, then you're just completely slashing that in half, right? You completely went back down to 10. So just really outweighing where you stand be one of the things, and how long you've had that open for. So if you're not using credit cards, let's say, I always say use credit cards and leverage them. We have so many credit cards. When you're applying for a credit card, see if they have cash back rewards. Then what you can go ahead and do, and I call this like, using your credit card like a boss, because now you're going to be able to go your groceries, get some gas in. You're going to be paying for it anyways. So go ahead and put it on there, pay it off. You don't have to wait until the next cycle. I always say just pay it off, so you're not paying interest on things. And so you go ahead and pay that off. You get cash back rewards on that you can later redeem for travel, shopping, whatever the rewards are in, or just traveling, and then you can leverage that. So then you make your money work for you, basically. And so that's one of the biggest things that I can go ahead and share, because I know sometimes we're like, we're not going to use our credit card, so we're just using our debit card. Our debit card isn't giving us any benefactors, but if we're using our credit card, we're going to go ahead and slide that, and we're getting those cash back. So always of what you're applying for in credit cards, making sure that they have, lower interest rates, check those annual fees. And sometimes they have credit cards with 0% interest. So being able to check all those little factors. And I always love cash back because I love getting money back. And so
of course.
thing. So,
I think one of the good ones is the city card from Costco, because
yeah,
they give you money and then Costco gives you money, so it's kind of almost double. And yeah, that is
yeah.
Do you recommend those airline cards where they give you like miles for all that you use, or I don't know? Because I was thinking about getting one of those, but I wasn't sure.
So if you travel a lot, most definitely, if you're traveling with a certain airline, then might as well. And then things that you like, look at different websites, right, that can offer you. I know our service offers a cashback reward. So when you're buying it, you can link up your credit card when you're buying certain things, and you get double. You're getting cash back on that site, and then you're getting cash back on your credit card. But I really go when you're applying, for example, if you travel a lot, then yeah, most definitely take advantage of those. Sometimes they have like, I know Southwest has like, you apply for it, they give you like 70,000 air miles or whatever their promotion is, free airline ticket. So it definitely is good to have. And so, and I know they have different rewards. Now you have access to, certain levels like Delta, you get access to their lounge. And so it gives you perks. So I always look for the credit cards with the most perks, cash back, and then making sure. But like I know during holiday season, we get bombarded with all these credit card offers. Hey, sign up for Macy's, you get 20% off. Well, then you go ahead and buy all your presents, and you're paying more than just 20% of what you could save. So just being mindful of not applying for a lot of new credit cards and not getting enticed with that free gift, something that's really going to leverage, help you in the long run. So that's a good thing.
That's awesome. Okay, well, thank you so much. I mean, that's been very helpful, and I'm going to definitely weigh out that option. I'm going to look at that. See what I need to do with that.
Reach out, and I appreciate you guys having me on and just helping me spread the mission and empowering with financial literacy.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank
really
you.
awesome.
We'll send us your card or your contact information, and we'll share it as well.
Yes, I will. Thank you so much. You guys have a great amazing rest of your Wednesday.
You too.
Bye.
Thank you, Joanna.
Thank you.
Bye. Well, that was good information, even for myself.
It really was.
Yeah, I was like, oh, okay.
So we wanted to, we're almost out of time here, but we just wanted to remind everybody about the July 15th tax deadline, which I know nobody wants to think about it. I know.
On my taxes.
We're like this.
I know. And the thing is I completely had forgotten about it myself, to be honest, just because we've been so busy. But I just remind everybody, if you need to file an extension, definitely file it. Because then it'll give you till October 15th. But definitely make sure you're doing that, and you still have time to take advantage. I don't know, a lot of people pay into the IRS, so if you put you can contribute to your IRA or your health savings accounts. And so that way you can, hopefully lessen your tax burden. If you still have till the 15th of July. So just make sure that
I do need a good CPA. Do you guys have one?
We have a couple that we can send to you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. We can send you some of their information and see who works best for you. But yeah, definitely. That's so important. We don't realize, like I said, how important that is, but it really is. And it's already next week. The middle of the month is already next week.
God, don't remind me.
So yeah.
I feel like this month flew by though. Like all the other months have been like, dragging by, but this one was just like you blinked and we're like, what the heck? Where are we at?
Yeah, it honestly has went by really fast. And the other thing too is I've gotten emails that the schools are not going to be open. I don't know about your guys' kids' schools, but the schools are not going to be open, so the kids are going to have to do school online. And I just think it's really sad. It's too hard,
It's ridiculous. It's my kids are going bonkers. They are outdoor kids. They love being outside. Being indoors this long has been
honestly,
I don't think it's good mentally.
It's really not.
To homeschool my kids versus doing the online. What is that called? The distance learning, because they don't understand any of it. I think being on a curriculum versus on a homeschool curriculum and being able to do outdoor stuff and incorporate it into their learning and stuff like that, and sending them to certain things that will apply to it will probably be more beneficial to their social life and their their development versus this social distancing stuff. So I really, I don't know, I'm getting voicemails like every other day from the district and the school for my one day it's like, oh, we're going to do every other day. And then the next day it's like, oh, 50% of parents didn't. And the next day it's like, never mind, we're not going to open. So I'm like, can I just get a final email that says we're not doing nothing? Like.
I heard somewhere, I think it was, I don't know if it was on Facebook, but it was a news thing that basically said, I think that Trump was trying to push the schools to be open this fall. So I'm hoping it does, because I'm gonna be honest, this is way too long for kids to be indoors.
I mean, I want my kids to go back, but at the same time, I don't, because if they're going to be subjected to wearing their mask all day and not being able to eat comfortably or have their, what I mean, like certain things.
I understand your point there, yeah.
Like I already know my kids, and for somebody, yeah, exactly. My son's going to be using his mask.
Yeah.
Like I don't know how well that would. My daughter would follow the rules. My son, he'd be like, okay, yeah, every other second. So I don't know how I feel. I'm kind of mixed in between, just because I like to have control of how my kids' health develops, and not put them. I don't want to throw them into the fire either. You know what I mean? Like if I like a vacation, if I'm bringing them here, it's because I'm taking the precautions myself, and I'm incorporating to where we are, and I'm choosing what we're doing, not just say let's go be crazy and involved with a million people. Like that's not what we're doing. And the same thing with school. Like we don't know where everybody else has been or how they're taking the precautions. Not saying that anybody isn't, but it reflects to everybody else. Some of those kids may have elderly grandparents that are there. Their parents, as they're raising them, or their their guardianship. So
personally, I think it should be a choice.
Yeah.
If you want to send your kids to school, you can. If you don't want to and you want to keep them home, you can. Yeah. And either way, this is America. We're not in communist China. So I feel like we should be able to make that decision for ourselves. We're the parents, not the government. So I feel that's my opinion. Yeah. Sorry, I don't know if anyone agrees with that.
No, I respect it. I honestly, one day I'm like, I want to send my kids to school, and the next day I'm like, never mind, I want to keep them.
But that should be your choice, right?
Yeah, but I honestly don't know how I would feel if I were to send them out. Even if I felt like, okay, I'm going to send them, and then they come home and then they get sick, then you would feel like, man, what did I do? Or I mean, they can get sick anywhere, but it just, I don't know.
Yeah, just gotta be careful.
It's just hard. I have a cousin who does.
Yeah, I just feel bad for the parents that don't have the flexibility that we do in the real estate industry, where we can actually, work from home and things like that. There's people that have to go to work 9 to 5 and can't take care of their kids. How are they doing it?
Yes,
it's not easy. That's why it's like.
But I will say, because I don't want to come across wrong. In the industry that we're in, having our kids home is 20 times harder to try to do homeschool or distance learning and try to attend to our clients' needs and our files and everything else. It's like
very true.
Real estate times 20, because you're literally like working from the time you wake up till the time you go to sleep. And I personally feel like when it first started, there was no balance at all. And Sonia knows that, because she was like, well, we got to do this. I'm like, whoa. You need to just like give me a second, because I need to I literally felt like I was half here, half there, half here. I felt like I couldn't like find a middle ground, and nobody else has control over that except for me. But I like to know everything that goes on in between my kids, my work, and where everything is. And so when I felt like I didn't have control over it, I felt like, oh man, this is moving too fast. So I think that, having them home and doing real estate full time.
Yeah.
Thank God my husband works from home, because I would probably be part-time right now. it's a lot. It's definitely a lot. Kids that are,
It is, absolutely.
you know, my daughter's going on 5th grade, so it's not into 5th grade. It's not like she's going to kinder, you know what I mean, or TK or whatever. And my son's going to 3rd grade, so it's not. And they're not in grades where I could just be like, oh, it's okay, go color a book. No, you know, that's not how it works. I think they're crucial years, so I need to find that balance where I feel like they're getting enough of their education that they need. So
yeah. So I just think anywhere from even if it is kindergarten, you know, because they're so more advanced, but from kindergarten all the way to 8th grade, I think is the tough years. I think high school we're more worried about what they're doing, but the thing is like even my son tells me is that what they're teaching them, they're not really explaining and they're not really doing much. So bye, Brenda.
Bye.
Her connection probably got lost.
Is that what happened?
Sorry, I pushed the button.
There you go.
Sorry.
Oh, I was like,
but I just think it's hard all the way around. It's really every you know, because you got high schoolers who can do it on their own, but then they're emotional wrecks. So it's
oh my god, you don't even know. My daughter's like, I need my friends, and I'm like, I know.
It's crazy, but it's true. They get
senior next year. Yeah. I'm praying that it's not like it was this year because it's her senior year. I feel so bad for the seniors this year because they got gypped.
Yeah.
So, and then this year she's like, I want to get back into softball. I'm going to do this, and I'm like, if they have a softball season,
I definitely agree that it is affecting them because that's something they really look forward to. It's like me taking their travel away. They're like, where's our life? Like, what are we doing? You know, there's nothing happening. Nothing's changing. So, you know, their social skills, I think, are very crucial.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, it's been a beautiful day. We are.
Yes, we are.
Gotta get.
Stuff to do. I got work.
Yeah.
Gotta get done.
So you guys have I felt like hearing this song.
What? Wait, what's love got to do with it? Okay.
I love Tina Turner.
I do too. You know which one I really like is that one song. Rolling. What is it?
Oh yeah, Rolling on a River.
Yeah, that one.
So everybody have a beautiful day. Thank you guys for watching. See you guys next Wednesday, same time, same place, same channel.
Bye guys.
Bye.
Bye everybody.